Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have got an interesting matchup tonight. It's going to be a PVT between our pink Protoss, TimboSlice, and the red Terran, kevinnleee. Now, these guys both main Zerg, but they have decided to play this matchup off race. Now, I don't think either player are very good at the current race they are playing, so we should be seeing some very strange builds and probably some suboptimal plays. But it should be an interesting match. Should be a bit of a clown fiesta, as we like to call it. So Timbo opening up with a forge first, followed by a gateway. Kevin on the other side going for a barracks with a reactor behind it. Two refineries behind it. So that points to something gas heavy. I think he's going to try to get a factory pretty soon, maybe go up to Starport, and then we'll see if he goes for Banshees or BCs or what his choice will be. Timbo throwing down the cannon at the front for defense. And let's see if he throws down the cyber core. Yeah, there goes the cyber core, so he's not going to get the nexus to that quickly. And both players going for a bit of a wall at their front, even though they're obviously not against Zerg. Of course, a wall is always useful. It can prevent run-bys from other units. It's not just Zerglings that can do run-bys. Of course, Hellions can be quite annoying. Zealots, perhaps. This is not the best looking wall, though, out of Timbo. Kind of strange. There's like a huge space here. Don't really know what that's all about. But Timbo now going for his Nexus. And similarly, Kevin also going for his command center. And Kevin's going to start with a Reaper, actually, getting Stim behind it. So, okay, maybe not going for quick Banshees or anything like that. In fact, the Stim points to Bio. But he is getting a factory behind this anyways. And no additional units coming out of this barracks. So not sure what that Stim is for. And that Reaper going the long way around. Maybe was Kevin unfamiliar with this map? I'm not sure where he was sending that Reaper. This is one of the new maps, so maybe Kevin doesn't have too much experience with it. All runs in and loses the Reaper right away. Is there anywhere that the Reaper can jump up, actually? I think over here is actually a spot that it can jump up. So a bit of a mistake there from Kevin. Of course, neither of these players playing their main race. And now Tim getting a very early +1 attack. Of course, also getting the very essential warp gate research. And a lot of gas over here by Timbo. Not really sure what that's all for. Kevin on his side. He's gotten a factory. He's gotten a couple Marines. Throwing down a couple more barracks. Starport on the way. Hasn't even morphed his second command center into an orbital. Bit of a mistake there. Of course, that's something you should always do. Just to get the mules, which are so ridiculously OP. Terrain OP. And not really sure what Kevin's going for here. He's got 3 Marines. 4 Marines now, and that's about it. He is throwing down a reactor, 2 reactors on his additional barracks, reactor on his starport as well. And Timbo now going for his +1 armor. And he's also got a robo facility. Going to be getting an observer to start things off to do a little bit of scouting. It's always good to have. And he's also researching Blink out of his Twilight Council. Blink Stalkers obviously very strong and very annoying to deal with. And Kevin's also going for a third base. It looks like it's just going to be all bio out of Kevin and all Marines, in fact. He is researching concussive shells for his Marauders that do not exist yet. And he's going to load up 16 Marines into these two medevacs. And he's going to go for a little bit of a droppy drop. And I think it's going to do pretty well as... Oh no, Tim does have some units warping in, so he might be able to fend this off. Of course, 16 Marines with stim, with combat shield are going to be pretty good. So Timbo's going to need a little bit more. Now these Marines are dropping off. They have stimmed, picked off that one pylon that was powering all these gateways and robo facility. And oh, now Timbo might be in trouble. Second pylon goes down. Oh, the blink seconds away from finishing. That is devastating. And no shield battery here. That was definitely a bit of a mistake from Timbo. Usually want a shield battery for that extra defense. It's almost impossible to break a overcharged shield battery. And pulling the probes is able to push this back for now. But Kevin loading up another 2 medevacs, and Timbo hasn't even had time to repower his gateways and finish his blink, which will finish shortly. But he has definitely been set back. Look at all the money Timbo has been floating. And yes, that is his usual MO. But this time he just didn't have the production facilities. They were all unpowered. Now Kevin going to be dropping off once again with 3 medevacs of Marines. And I don't know if Timbo is going to be able to hold this off. They stim in, pick off all the Stalkers. 2 more warping in, but they are not going to put up much of a fight at all. And yeah, Timbo just doesn't have anything left. Those 2 Stalkers go down, and that's going to be all she wrote. These probes not long for this world either. Kevin actually gonna ignore them, pick off the Nexus instead. Boom, goes down the Nexus. And GG, Kevin takes the first game in a wild map. All right, we are back with game number 2 between these 2 players. It's going to be, once again, the pink Protoss, TimboSlice, and the red Terran, kevinnleee. Kevin taking a pretty decisive game number 1 with a medevac drop that totally caught Timbo off guard. Picked off 2 very important pylons in his main base, and that unpowered almost all of his gateways. He just couldn't muster up the army, and then the follow-up medevac drop sealed the deal. We'll see if Timbo learns from his mistakes and cleans up in this second game. This map is going to be 2,000 atmospheres. 2,000 atmospheres is going to be the battlefield for this one. This is an underwater map, so I don't really know what atmospheres exist underwater. So you can see there are fishes, and there's this shark guy over here, and there's some other creatures lurking about. Kevin gonna open things off with a barracks, as Terrans usually do. Refinery behind it, not going for double refinery this time. And we'll see if he goes for a Reaper once again. Doesn't look like it. Gonna go for a quick factory behind this. Okay. And hasn't even started his orbital command yet. Like I said, the orbital command very useful to have, as it provides mules, it provides scans, and in a pinch it also provides the supply drop. Kevin's still not going for that. Not sure if that's intentional or if he just forgot. Timbo on the other side of things went for a Forge, Gateway, Nexus, Cyber Core. He has one cannon for the defense, and once again, bit of an odd wall. This is a pretty big gap. The Forge kind of out for some reason. Not really sure what the point of this wall shape is. In any case, the Reaper now heading across the map, and I don't think Timbo has any units just yet, so if Kevin controls this properly, he should be able to get a good amount of probes. We'll see how Kevin's control is. Pretty good so far. Picks off one probe. Some nice control. That wasn't the best grenade I've ever seen, but at least he's trying. And look at all this wasted mining time out of Timbo. And nothing even producing. This Reaper has been here for, I don't know, 30 seconds, almost a minute. And only now just starting a Stalker is Timbo. 2 kills on this Reaper so far. Another one goes down, and oh my goodness, this is a disaster for Timbo. Of course, Kevin kind of focusing a little too heavily on the micros, floating a lot of minerals, and oh my god, 6 kills so far out of this Reaper. Is finally going to get surrounded and picked off, but that was worth it. Maybe not so much considering all the resources that Kevin is floating, but 6 workers down, that's very good. You never really expect to get that much out of a Reaper, and Timbo cannot be happy with that. He's getting more gateways behind this. He has a robo facility, getting an observer. And the one saving grace for Timbo is he does have 2 Nexus, and he has had 2 Nexus for quite a while, so that means double probe production, double chrono boost. So he's going to be able to get back up in workers, and as we see, he's already back up to 26 compared to Kevin's now 25. And Kevin just landed his own second command center. Once again, a little slow on the orbital transformation. Behind this, ooh, Kevin going for Banshees with Cloak. But Timbo actually going to be flying his observer over, so he will be able to scout this. If he decides to go in the main, oh no, Timbo. Yeah, he's gonna fly in and spot this, and then he's gonna need to react. Oh no. Oh no, I don't think he went in to see it. No, he didn't spot it, so this Banshee is gonna do a lot. Don't fly into the cannon though. Whoa. Alright, good reaction there from Kevin. Now in goes the Banshee, and oh my goodness, Timbo. His anti-air consists of a single solitary stalker, and his detection is out here in the middle of nowhere. So this Banshee's gonna do a lot of work. 3 kills so far. Oh, another observer comes out, so that's good news. And oh, you gotta get out of there! Oh no! Oh, that was a close one. 16 HP left on that Banshee, and considering how unprepared he was, that was a decent defense by Timbo. But what's next out of Kevin? He is going for Thors. And he's even landing his 3rd command center. Hasn't even morphed his 2nd orbital just yet. And 3 tanks on the high ground for defense. That's going to be pretty hard to break. Timbo trying to go for some aggression of his own with 4 measly stalkers. That's not going to do much. Timbo also getting 3 Stargates. Nothing producing out of them just yet. He doesn't even have the economy to support this. 2 not even fully saturated bases. And as we see, Timbo pretty dry for resources at the moment. Quite a bit of minerals, but not enough gas to really produce any sizable air fleet. Now Timbo's posturing up to do a bit of attack, and there's no wall at the front for Kevin, so Timbo is going to be able to walk right up out of range from these tanks, and Kevin's going to have to scramble to move those forward. But of course, if Timbo notices, he can just jump on them. Does get 1 tank, but I don't think he'll be able to get any more, and he's going to lose the rest of his stalkers. 20 SCVs do go down, however. And any more? 21. And yeah, that was a pretty good attack from Timbo, all things considered. 42 probes to 39 SCVs. Luckily for Kevin, he does have 3 bases, and this 3rd base, I don't think Timbo is aware at all. 1 lone Cyclone on a bit of a suicide mission. It did get a single stalker as well before it lost its life. And Timbo needs to think about a 3rd. Oh, there it goes. 3rd base coming up for Timbo. 4th base coming up from Kevin. Whoa, this is some very aggressive expanding. Hasn't even morphed his bases yet. Still, 9 minutes into the game, he's sitting on 2 normal command centers. And not even spending the energy on his main base one. Not mining gas out of this 2nd refinery. Once again, this is both players off race, so you can expect to see some mistakes. And this is by no means shaming them or anything. Just pointing out the mistakes. Now finally morphing his 3rd base, but not yet morphing the 2nd still. And Kevin going for a 4 Thor drop. I don't know if that's intentional because 4 and Thor rhymes, or if this was some kind of calculated number, but they're gonna do a lot of damage. I'd like to see these actually transform into their single target mode to deal with the void rays. Not sure if Kevin knows about that. Currently they're in their splash mode, and since void rays don't really clump up that much, The Thors aren't dealing extra damage to all their neighbors. No, and the Zealots are gonna do a lot of work. They're gonna clean this all up, and Kevin's gonna pick up one Thor, but is Timbo gonna catch it? Oh no, I think he might have been able to get that very weak medevac if he chased quicker. But all in all, good defense there from Timbo. I thought it was gonna be bad news, but he managed to pull it off. And now he's establishing his third base. Nice little field of defenses here. 4 cannons, 2 shield batteries. That's going to be good enough for most things that Kevin's going to throw at him. I'd like to see some of these workers transferred as it's a bit oversaturated here. And now Timbo going for a robotics base. So not every day that you see 3 Stargates and then a tech switch into robotics bay. Both players floating a lot of money now. Kevin with over 2,000 minerals. You need to produce some more factories or starports, whatever you want to make. It looks like Thors are the choice for Kevin. So let me see a few more factories, Kevin, as he does have his 4th base. And oh nice, this one has turned into an orbital now. And oh, it was a bit of a trick. He threw down the robotics bay, but he's committing even heavier into the Stargates. There's 2 more on the way, as well as a fleet beacon. So that implies carriers, I think. Or he might just get the speed upgrade for Void Rays. And in terms of upgrades, what do these guys have? +1 ground weapons, +1 air weapons for the Protoss, +2 ship weapons. That's gotta be a mistake. Kevin doesn't even have ships. That is ship weapons, right? I'm not. Yeah, that's like the jet engines for some kind of airplane. So, bit of a mistake there from Kevin. Maybe he does not realize. Now Kevin even going for a 5th base at this rich Vespine location. For those unaware, this purple gas here does give you twice as much Vespine as these regular Vespine gases. And Kevin gonna get the refinery right away, so I guess he must be aware of that, going for this base very purposefully. And now Timbo moving out with his speedy Void Rays, gonna burn down these missile turrets right away. And I'd like to see the ability activated. Of course, the ability allows Void Rays to do bonus damage versus armored units. There it goes. He activates it at the cost of movement speed. So now they are very slow boys. And he's going to fly into Kevin's main now. Take out these SCVs trying to build missile turrets. And he's going to beam down this command center real quick. And he's just going to get out of dodge. Nice move there. And maybe he's going to pick off these refineries on the way out. No, I guess he'll let them survive. But he is going to pass by this 5th base, and one single Void Ray going to attack it for now. Alright, the others decide to join the party. And going to pick off some more SCVs. Oh no. Very efficient attack there out of Timbo. And more Void Rays on the way. I don't know how Kevin's gonna... Actually, that's a lot of Thors. Holy moly! 17 Thors. They are just marching across the map. It is such a shame he doesn't have the correct weapons upgrade, but they do have +2 armor. And here come the Thors. Thor is here! And ooh, they just blow up a few void rays right away. And is Timbo gonna be able to have enough? These zealots in the front line are super useful. Look at them just chew through the Thors. And the Thor's focusing on the air right now. Not every day you see the air act as the meat shield for the zealots. Usually it's the other way around, but these zealots are doing work, man. Holy moly. We started with 17. We are down to 4. 4 Thors once again. Now it's down to 3. Nice bit of micro there from Timbo, saving that carrier. Oh no, pull it back. Oh, maybe he doesn't need to. No, he does need to. The carrier goes down, but Tempests are here even. Oh, and they gun down the final Thor real quick. And just like that, Timbo has seized control of this game. The swift and decisive hit squad taking out 3 of Kevin's bases, and he is still feeling that impact. Just rebuilding now. He's rebuilded his main base, trying to rebuild his 4th, but look, he's not even mining out of the 4th. He's still producing more Thors. He's getting +3 ship weapons. He doesn't even have ships. Oh no, Kevin. Kevin! I'm not sure if that would have made the difference, but a tip for all you viewers, you can't have Thors by themselves. You need some kind of meat shield in the front. Usually with mech, you're going to be floating a lot of minerals, as Kevin is, so spend them on something like Hellbats. Hellbats in the front, let them burn away the zealots, and maybe that's a different fight. Who knows? As it is now, Timbo sitting on 6 bases. He is building up his golden armada. Look at all these tempests. No voids or carriers, so some voids on the way. And another base coming down. And what's going to be the response from Kevin? Just more Thors. Some tanks for the ground units. Actually, I think those were his first tanks. The ones he got very early on in the game. And yeah, just nothing but Thors out of Kevin. I would like to see something to soak up damage. And Kevin's going to also want to activate... I forgot what the ability is called. The different mode for the Thors. It's called like high impact payload or something like that. But that allows them to do extra damage versus single target air units, which will be very useful against this golden armada. Unless, of course, Timbo stacks up all his air units onto a single spot. Then, of course, the splash damage will be more valuable. So we'll see what happens as Timbo's going for the attack now. Thors waddle in to try to defend, but they're so big and clunky. Look at them. Some of them getting stuck. This guy not even joining in. And these Tempests, they do bonus damage versus massive units. I think they do bonus versus massive units. And they just shred the Thors, but Timbo decides to back up. Maybe going to rotate around, hit this base, or where's he going to go? Tempest with their annoying range, but they do need vision, so... And he's just going to fly in, harass this base here. Not the best units for harassing because they do fire so slowly. And ooh, nice. Kevin using that high impact payload there. And we see just how much damage they do. Look at that. Just boom. fires down the Tempest real quick. Look at this. Boom! Boom! So nice of Kevin to finally realize that, but he has lost an additional 12 SCVs. Timbo's still very, very rich, building up carriers now. And what upgrades does he have on his air units? +3 flyer and +1 flyer armor. So his carrier is going to be pretty strong. And I wouldn't even mind seeing the upgrade for the Tempest, which makes them do extra damage versus buildings. So use that Tempest hit squad, fly in, just blast down a command center, and move on to the next one. But not sure if Timbo even knows that upgrade exists. And I don't think he needs it necessarily. It's just something to keep in his back pocket. But the carrier number starting to get scary. 8 carriers so far, and another 8 Tempests, and actually it's going to be 10 carriers and 8 Tempests. Very scary army here out of Timbo. But now that Kevin has realized the high impact payload, and he also has some Vikings, he might be able to deal with this. Just look how quickly the Thors burst down these units. Unfortunately, they are a little slow, and Kevin does need to make sure he focuses down the carriers. Can't let the Thors auto-attack the interceptors, and look at how quickly the carriers fall down to 2 carriers remaining. And now 1 carrier remaining, no carriers remaining. These Thors now doing work on the Tempest. And Timbo just content to take the fight, gonna lose his entire Golden Armada. That's how powerful Thors are in their high impact mode. Now Timbo's ground army gonna go for a bit of an attack of their own as he scrambles to remake his air army. Now these 3 Thors going for an attack onto Timbo's base. I'm not even sure what base this is. 3rd, 4th, 5th, whatever. And oh no, you don't want to send a single carrier. That's going to get murdered right out the sky. Or ocean, rather. These guys fighting underwater, remember. 2 more carriers gonna come in. Meanwhile, these stalkers gonna try to do some work in the main, but they do get cleaned up. And now 5 carriers. That's gonna be enough to clean this up. These Thors not long for this world any longer, and it does explode, and it remains floating up into the surface. Actually, how does the metal of the Thor even float up like that? That makes no sense. Now Kevin is in a bit of a pickle. His economy has been ransacked quite a bit. He only has 5 Thors remaining at the moment, and he's not very rich. He has established this base, which is nice, I suppose, and he's trying to get this base up, but look how many bases Timbo has. A few of them are pretty dried up, but still, he's got this one, which is pretty new, this one, which is pretty new, and he's just remaking his Golden Armada. And he's actually going for a bit of variety. 5 carriers, 5 void rays on the way, 5 already on the field. A little bit of everything, I guess. I don't hate it. I think pure carriers is probably more scary, but we'll see how it does. And 3-3 ship weapons and vehicle plating out of Kevin. 3-3 out of Timbo as well. No shields. I would like to see the shields upgrade from the Forge, because that does benefit air as well. And Kevin establishing this base. Timbo gonna try to get it himself, but gonna see that it's already taken. Oh no. Gonna throw down those two assimilators. Wait, what is that called? Yeah, assimilators and pylons. And Kevin just sacrificing this medevac for a scout, I guess. And Timbo gonna try to cannon rush this base 26 minutes into the game. I like it. Now, Timbo moving out with his... I don't even know how many that is. That's too many to count. Bunch of Void Rays and 5 carriers. Gonna hit this base from Kevin, and it's quite undefended. Gonna clean up all those poor SCVs and gonna take out that command center very quickly. Once again leaves the refineries, well, one refinery. Gonna move on to this base, gonna clean it up just as quickly, and gonna start working on these production facilities, and these Thors gonna need to do some work. That's a lot of air to deal with, transforming into their high impact payload. And actually that's a lot of Vikings. Vikings, however, are armored units which take additional damage from Void Rays, but you still can't fight it like that, Timbo. Not with the Thors there. So he does back off wisely. Gonna clean up the main base of Kevin, and he might lose the rest of this air army, but he's done so much damage, taking out 3 bases, taking out a lot of Kevin's production, and yeah, he's gonna lose those carriers for sure, so he uses them just to sacrifice their lives while the Void Rays get away. And now Kevin, once again, is forced to have to remake almost all of his infrastructure. He lost a bunch of stuff here. He only has 2 factories remaining. Oh my goodness. He's got a lot of money. But oh no, the Void Rays flying in once again. Takes out another command center. Gonna take out yet another, and Kevin has seen enough. He has had it. He is gonna march his Thors across the map and see if he can end this. And I think he is gonna end it one way or another. It's either gonna be his victory or his loss. This is gonna be an all in. This is all he has. He doesn't have any production left. He has, I guess, 1 fully mining base and 1 more on the way, and he's gonna go for the fight. These Void Rays, activate your prismatic alignment. They're not at their full potential right now, but I think they're still gonna be able to clean this up, and indeed they do. GG. Timbo takes the second game. All right, here we are, game number 3, the final game in this off-race clown fiesta. It is once again the pink Protoss, TimboSlice, and the red Terran, kevinnleee. And a little bit of cheeky out of Kevin, perhaps, sending out an early SCV. Let's see where this guy goes. Definitely not a normal location for a scout, so definitely going to see something cheeky out of Kevin. Second SCV coming as well. Looks like it's going to be a proxy 2-Rex, or are we going to see 3? Looks like it's just going to be 2, and refinery behind it, which tells me Reapers. Timbo going to go for a forge and gateway, and most likely expand. So I think Kevin, realizing how much work his Reaper did last game, and he's just gonna double down on that. Maybe even call it triple down, because these 2 racks are right outside Timbo's base. Look how close this is. It's less than a single screen away. Timbo has no idea. He is happily building his wall. Once again, bit of an odd wall. Why couldn't you move this like maybe over here, leave a little gap? Not the end of the world, but what might be the end of the world is these Reapers on the way. Kevin even going for his second gas. Gonna forego the orbital, and this is one of the rare occasions where I don't mind that, at least delaying it in favor of extra Reapers. And in hops the first Reaper, and Timbo has no units just yet. One Stalker on the way. A little better reaction this game. And Kevin gonna save up some more Reapers. He has 2. 3 more on the way. Another barracks. 4 barracks. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of barracks right outside Timbo's base. And I don't think he even knows. I don't think he knows of proper Terran timings. So he might not be aware. He should know now, seeing 3 Reapers, that it is something fishy. And with proper micro, 3 Reapers can certainly deal with a single Stalker. Let's see how Kevin deals with this. Gets 1 Reaper surrounded. Oh no, that's not what you want. And he's just gonna get on out of there with the remaining 2. Join up with their pals over here. And gonna hop in 5 at a time. Gonna gun down that Stalker very quickly, and oh no. I'd like to see some cannons, some shield batteries out of Timbo, but maybe he just doesn't have the attention or maybe even knowledge that those would help in this situation. And gonna lose almost all his probes. Kevin gunning down this pylon. I don't know about that. Just go for the probes. This gateway isn't that important anyways. But alright, takes that down. And now he has 7 Reapers. And that's going to be enough to pretty much close out this game. And GG indeed. Kevin takes the series 2-1.